Hello guys, this Zoom was needs a huge bandwidth and I did not have that much of coverage in the morning. I don't know what the reason was. So I'm doing a recording video. I'm just recording it as we would have recorded when we were in class. Only thing absent is you people are absent and we don't have the lively discussion which we used to have. So let us go forward. I'll be sharing few things with you. First thing that you have already got is, I'll minimize myself. Okay. So first thing that you have already got is what are the 11 reasons, 11 solid reasons why public speaking is important in your life. I hope you remember that I told you yesterday, I mean in the last class, that I am standing here and two people are standing in front of me, or one person is standing in front of me and I am speaking and he is listening, he or she is listening. That means I am speaking publicly. So public speaking is not something which we only do on stage or in the boardroom. It is an everyday feature which is happening every day, and we need to modify, rectify, prepare ourselves in that way every single day. So what are the 11 solid reasons why public speaking is important to anyone's life? So it increases self-confidence. Second is it makes you comfortable around other people. That means whatever type of people you can manage it. That is the comfortableness or the self-assuredness or um, I mean confidence that you get. Next is this is one of the best ways to these both things, which is something we all are looking forward to. I'm sure in your life you are looking forward to get a better job, or in the job and before the job, after the job, you'll be doing sales, not sales per se, but you want to convince people of your idea, you want to convince people about anything, something. That is where you are selling. So public speaking is something which helps you generate the best of them, get your message across, and then it will allow you to make a difference in your life, whether you are in a business, whether you are in a career, whether you are just a person of the community and wants to influence it, whatever it is. This is one of the active and powerful weapon that we can have for ourselves. Skills learned can boost performance in other areas of life. Whatever skills we learn here helps in other areas also. This I think is one of the most important reasons, that it demonstrates our knowledge. Whatever knowledge I have, that is the only arena where we can, I mean, influence people, let people know that we are a little bit more aware or knowledgeable in the area where we are talking. Other places we may not be, but this is my area. It also allows you to improve on your area. Different speaking differentiates you in the workforce. Not everyone can speak. Everyone comes and works and goes away. Those who can, or those who can develop this muscle that they have, that we have within us, stands out from the crowd. Help you form a tribe of supporter around you. That is another very important aspect. It helps us create, sorry, it helps us create support. Next is this one. Last I had shown you some picture diagrams and explained about these things. Here are certain broad aspects. So eye contact, purposeful movement, effective use of hand, fluid body movement. I have discussed all of this. Good posture, handshake. Handshake is something I did not discuss. I'll be discussing it. And smile. So handshake is keeping my hand a little bit angled towards the person I am. Let me see if I am. Yes. So keeping my hand a little bit angled toward the person that I am, I mean, shaking hand. I hope you can see me. So my hand is a little bent and straight, and the finger is raised up, and it should not be that straight, it should be a little bit casual. There should be a little bit distance between the fingers, a little bit. And I'll extend my hand forward, keeping it a little bent towards myself so that I can be strong. And also, neither am I pulling nor am I allowing the person to pull my hand towards himself or herself, showing any strength. I'll keep it normal and I'll shake it twice and then release the hand. So that is the strong hand shake. What are the things we should not be doing? We should not fold our hands like this. We should not put our hands in our pockets. And I mean, facial expressions should not be too prominent. I mean, if I'm sad, a little bit of sadness in my eyes, in my, I mean, face is okay. But too much is bad. Practice is something which makes us better. Fidgeting is wrong. Speaking really fast when not doing it purposely, and being overly flamboyant in your early stages as a speaker, even that can be bad. Next is voice modulation. I'll just quickly go through this because I have something important to share with you. Um, why is tonality important? Just give me a minute because I have missed something. Yes. Yes, I'll be sharing my screen 1 second and I'll give you this. Yes, voice modulation. So, voice modulation is why is tonality important, that is given here, where to put emphasis and why emphasis is necessary, why pauses are necessary, silence is often very effective. Uh, Sometimes you have to be loud and sometimes soft. What affects this voice vocal variations have, was fast and slow, what can this do, how, why is pacing important. Next, what do you do to improve yourself? You have water, you avoid slurring, you practice with some speakers, and you also practice with some audio recording. Next, I'll move back to the website I had shared a few days back. Today I'll be talking about, sorry, I'll be talking about this PowerPoint presentation. It is not the present PowerPoint per se that I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the few body language skills that we need to have. So before we start the slides or anything, or move anything on screen, because as I said, I hope you remember that anything moving attracts our attention. So before anything starts moving, let us do some little bit of introduction, and that introduction should not be too big. I should not talk too much about myself. I should just do a little bit of what should I say, just say one or 4 or 5 words about me and a sentence about what I am talking about, what we are here for, or what I am talking about. That is enough of an introduction. Next is presenting the PowerPoint. For every sorry, clicked it and it went somewhere else. Yeah. For presenting the PowerPoint, there should be quite a few slides. I have seen that when you are in the habit of making a slide for yourself, when you are preparing for any purpose to submit it to the faculties or anything like that, fewer slides is okay. But when you're actually going to present it, try to make one slide for one point that you are talking. So you are talking about PowerPoint presentation. So PowerPoint presentation, the name of the slide is on top, and in the body there is only one point highlighted, one point there. All the points are not there. Not only they are blurred, they are absent. That is what we have to think about. And after I have talked about the 4 points. So one, I leave the point 1 and I come to point 2. Second, third slide, I come to point 3. 1 and 2, the space is there, nothing is presented. So like that, I have to take up as many slides as I can to make it less interruptive, because anything visible without me, anything visible behind me also attracts attention. So if I should remove my attention from there or make the thing of attention so small, you see behind me there is a chart there. It is so small you do not get distracted by it. So similarly, you have to make it either very insignificant, or you have to just keep one thing there so that nobody gets distracted. Next is, remember, when you are presenting a PowerPoint, you should be very professionally dressed, even if no one else is professionally dressed. Doesn't mean that you have to put on a tie, but at least you should have formal shirt and trousers, or formal uniform before you start. These few things I'll be coming along gradually. Next is, whenever you are speaking in public, the storytelling is something which we do not think about. Now, by storytelling, people think that once upon a time something happened. That is storytelling. No, when you are talking in a PowerPoint slide, along with a PowerPoint slide in a boardroom, you don't have scope once upon a time to say something like once upon a time. You should be saying something. You should be adding story of why. The story should be your history before you start actually delving into the subject, or you have gone into the subject and then you want to give some past reference. Bring it out in a story format, not just talking in the past, this and this happened and this, not just facts. Bring it out in a story format. That helps. Next is, if you make a brain map or brain mapping diagram and you present it in that way, the brain map is there and you explain things like that, and then you talk about it. Or if you have certain things which you want to hit your folks emotionally, so do it by appealing to the senses, first to the eye, then to the ear, then to the maybe to the taste if possible. So do it a little bit, and if you can make a cocktail of these 3 things, that can be even better. So storytelling is an important part, and remember that these should be very short stories. 3 sentences, 4 sentences, max to max. 4 sentences is pretty long. Try to make it enough. Try to relate your story in 3 or 4 sentences. 3 sentences best. If possible, do your selling through the story instead of, just storytelling. If you have no idea of what a dopamine is, what an oxytocin is, what a serotonin is, what a testosterone is, go ahead and check all these 4 things. These are certain hormones that are there in our body. Which one is triggered by what type of sensation? You can get that properly there. Go to the Google and search about them, and try to add your story. Either your story should help in secretion of a dopamine, or an oxytocin, or a serotonin, or just testosterone. So even there is endorphins. So any one of them or a little bit of combination of two or three of them can bring out a marvelous story. But remember that that needs to be practiced. And by practice, I don't mean just for one PowerPoint presentation, one story or two or three stories for one PowerPoint presentation. This has to be something which has to be done regularly. I hope you remember I was talking about how to be better speakers and to practice gradually. So go ahead and practice in the similar way so that when you present, you don't have to format your stories by lots of practice for every single one. You can just go ahead and talk impromptu because you have practiced so much that you can talk to secrete dopamine or to secrete a combination of oxytocin and testosterone. Just go ahead and talk. Next is um, some leadership qualities should be there when you are speaking. So that can be certain challenges that you move forward. Um, you can have a little bit of a focus question. The question can be an infinite loop, or I mean, you can just think about the beliefs that these people have and talk about this. You can ascertain the values that a person has and talk about them. And like that, you can go ahead and make a valuable presentation. Now I'll go on to a remarkable video that you should be listening and watching.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. There is a question which has puzzled me for quite a while, and that is, why do our PowerPoints look the way they look? Or rather, how on earth can we accept that they look the way they look?
So this person is talking about how and why our PowerPoints look so bad, appear so bad, and why is it that we don't protest about it, and how can we avoid being dead by the effect of PowerPoints.
How can you do that? And do you know what's even more intellectually challenging for me to understand? Is how can a person sit over here in this meeting room with 10 others, observing this dismally bad PowerPoint filled with charts, graphical elements, page numbers, fading away 5, 7 minutes, thinking of other things. You know the feeling, the boredom, the waste of time. This person, after 40 minutes, he or she will stand up, a bit dazed, trotting off to his own office, coming into his own computer, flipping it up, going like, oh my God, I've got a presentation tomorrow, and I do have a PowerPoint to build. Now, what is the chance that this person will build an equally bad PowerPoint as the one that he or she was by herself tortured by in the other conference room? Is that a big chance? Yeah. Now, what is that? Is that, why do we do that? Is that vengeance? Is that where you go like, you did that to me, I'm going to do it to you, you got it coming, bro? Is that the case? I don't think so. I don't think it has got to do with vengeance. I don't think it has got to do with intelligence. I think it's got to do with something else. Now, my passion in life is the brain. And an even bigger passion than that is presentation skills. And I love combining these two. And about 4 years ago, I got so upset. I blew my top. Because the way that we do neural executions all over our boardrooms today is just, it's not fair to our intelligence as I'm here in front of you. What am I talking? But there was none to be found. So I thought, well, I'll just do as Franz Kafka said, if it isn't written, write it yourself. And 4 years later, I have the great honor to stand here in front of you. What am I talking about? What are the PowerPoints I'm referring to? Well, they can look like this. Now, this is one of the top 3 universities in the world advising their students and their teachers on how to build great PowerPoints. I received this from a customer, and you've got to be semi-blind in order to even have something like this in the company. I love this one. This one was awarded the prize of being the worst PowerPoint delivered by a public CEO in 2000.
So he calls this one the worst PowerPoint presentation. This is something we are always doing almost on a regular basis.
Prize of being the worst PowerPoint delivered by a public CEO in 2010. It's a nice prize to pick up, isn't it? Oh yes, thank you. Well done, mate. And then you're like, this is bad. Can it get worse? Yes, it can. Now this is
the worst slide that he has ever seen.
UN in Afghanistan, US military describing the situation in the area. And well, there are no comments on that. But then we go this one. My God, David Phillips, this has got to be the thing. This has got limited amounts of text. It's got a supporting image. It's got a clear headline. This is the truth. Well, the thing is, if you recognize yourself in any of these, which I think you do, nodding away, I want to make you aware of the following. That if you delivered a presentation with something like that behind you, 90% of what you said was gone within 30 seconds. And then you go, no.
So he says that if we have that type of PowerPoint presentation, 90% of what I say while I'm presenting is gone within 30 seconds. How can you remember? And you understand that 30 seconds is what our brains hold with such bad PowerPoint presentations, whereas we want them to hold it for at least 30 minutes. It's gone by 30 seconds.
No way, Jose. That is way, I know it's bad, but it can't be that bad, can it now, really? Well, just let me give you an example of really how bad your working memory is, and mine. I want you to imagine this situation. You're at the train station, and you're waiting for the train. You can see it coming in the horizon. You're fiddling away, you finally find where you put your ticket, and you take it up and you go, car 5, C42, got it. Have you? You have absolutely no idea where you're going to sit, do you? So you're like, is this only me, or, well, I'll check 542, and you put it down again. Have you got it? No, you haven't got it. You'll do this on an average of 6 times before you sit down. I've seen people in the train go, 542, 542, yes, this is my seat. Check. Now, the bad news in this situation is this. You do not have a separate working memory for PowerPoint and a separate working memory for train tickets. It's the same dismally bad working memory for both activities.
So working memory for all activities is not very powerful for most of us. I'm not talking of the people who are memory masters. They may have. Even then, you'll see that they have a very high working memory for certain things, not for all things. It is very, divided and focused and compartmentalized, not the normal thing.
So I might be harsh when I say this, but there is one man on this earth who knows more about the brain than anybody else, one of the most leading neurologists called John Medina, and he puts it like this. And it's with his words that I welcome you to how to avoid death by PowerPoint. Now, my objective for this evening, for this 18 minutes, is to give you 5 design principles that will cognitively and psychologically optimize your PowerPoint slides. And if you haven't used them before, they will make a tremendous difference to every PowerPoint you will be delivering from this day and on. So let's start. The first one of these 5 is one message. I received this from a customer and I said, hey, we've got a lot of issues in here. But let's start with the first one. You got 2 messages. Let's move one of them out of the way and just bring one message per slide. So why should we only have one message per slide? Well, I'll give you this beautiful example. You're at this nice party, you've got the music going, boom, boom. You got this person you're chatting away to, you're having a good time. You hear your name spoken somewhere. Your entire attention is now diverted in that direction. And then with this person, you're just nodding away, hoping that you're nodding in the right instances, yeah? Yes. After about a minute, this one stops talking about you, so you divert your attention straight again. Now, that person will then say, well, don't you agree? Well, don't we just love that situation? We have got no clue what they've been talking about. The same thing goes for PowerPoint. If you've got more than one message, the chance is big that they will be focusing on this one and not that one, or that one and not this one. Just make it simple for human beings. Have one message per slide. We are extremely limited to understanding more. Let's move on. Go to working memory. I've already given you this bad vibe that your working memory is bad, and I'm afraid I'm not coming with better news. I'm coming with worse news. And it goes like this. This equation has the basis of John Sweller and Meyer. And they come to the conclusion that there is something in our brain called the redundancy effect. And it works like this. If you have text, sentences on your PowerPoint, and you persist with the annoying idea of speaking at the same time, what will be remembered by the audience is 0, or very close to 0. Now, why is that? How does that come about? Well, it can't look like this. It's just not practical. You can't stand and have this and talk at the same time. So what are you supposed to do?
Just see, if you were sitting, not presenting this, but sitting, would you be interested in reading all these lines? Maybe. Would you be interested in listening to the person? Maybe. Would you be interested in both the things? Impossible. It's not possible for any brain to do that.
Well, use PowerPoint for what it's supposed to be used for. Pick it like this. Pull down your text into the documentation field and use the area up there for the presentation material. Short, sweet bits of text and an image. That is what enhances your image. That is what enhances your message.
The exterior of the classic car combines the dynamic road-hugging focus of a coupe, delivering comfort in flat-free tires. So, exterior of the car, flat-free tires. Then, speed by its aerodynamics, handling by its new lightweight material. So, new lightweight material, aerodynamic. And I have just highlighted the points and then I'm talking.
So use PowerPoint as it's supposed to be used. Come to the third of these 5 principles, and that's size. Before I go into that, I want to make you aware of something, and that is the following. Every time you open your eyes for the rest of your life, you will focus on 4 things. Moving objects, signaling colors like red, orange, and yellow, contrast-rich objects, and big objects for the rest of your life. I'll give you a practical example of that. I want you to imagine yourself being home with a friend, a really good friend. Now the television is on, but the sound is off. You're having a great conversation, but do you find it easy to not look at the television? No. Why not? Because it's got moving objects, it's got signaling colors, it's high in contrast, and they're usually very big these times. So why not use this to our benefit? If you look at this, where is your attention drawn to? Without you even having a chance of controlling it. It's going to the big 3 all the time. Well, have a look at the practical situation. Have a look at this. Where is your eyes drawn to? Well, I can see that they're drawn to constantly to the headline. Now, how often is the headline the most important part in a PowerPoint? It's very rare. Even so, every PowerPoint template is built like this, where the headline is the biggest object and the content is the smallest, going absolute opposite to our biological reactions. So what does this look like if we just show you an example? Well, now I'll reduce the title and it looks like this. Do you see how your eyes now fall down into the content? Now they're sucked into the headline, and now they're fallen down into the content. So I can control exactly where you are. But why do people build PowerPoints where people will be spending 70% of the time on the headline when it's not the most important part? So what I want you to take with you from this is the most important part of your PowerPoint should also be the biggest, nothing else. Moving on to number 4, contrast. Contrast controls your focus. So what does that look like? For instance, if I show you a list like this, your eyes are all over the place because you don't really know what to focus on. So I'll use a built-in functionality into PowerPoint which goes like this. I'll show you the first subject. I'll take it away with contrast and I'll show you the second one. And I'll do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. You're now following exactly the white spot. If I do this, then, I can see your eyes just wobbling around, and you're a bit like, you know, a kitten going after a little laser pointer on the wall. Going like, where is it? Where is it? I've got it, I got it, I got it. Because you're following where the white spot is and not the rest. Now, this is a beautiful example. Please do use this. Use it because you can show amazing big tables like this if you use the effect of contrast, the principle of contrast. Look what this looks like. Your eyes are all over the place. You don't know what to focus on. But I just apply the principle of contrast and it looks like that. And suddenly you know exactly what to focus on. Here, they're all over the place, and here, they're exactly where I want them. And there's a big...
That is what I was telling you, that either you put one thing on the slide or you blur everything so much that they are almost invisible. So our eyes are focused into one thing and one thing only.
Major drawback with PowerPoint, and that is that the majority of companies on this earth today, they persist in having white backgrounds in PowerPoint. Look at that. Oh, it's bright, it's shiny. Could you tell me who has the highest contrast, me or the screen? Or the screen? Who's usually the biggest, me or the screen? Or the screen. So the only option I have is dress myself up in signaling colors and jump around on stage in order to balance that problem out. Now that is obviously not a good corporate strategy in the long term, would it be? I think the long-term strategy is to just switch it around. PowerPoint is not supposed to have white backgrounds. If I do this, your eyes relax. You focus on me. I'm the biggest object. I'm the most contrast-rich object. I got your focus. Why is that important? It's important because I always have been, and I always will be, the presentation. That is my visual aid. Moving into the last principle, that is objects. Now this is one of the most severe principles. And it goes like this. How many objects do I have here? If you count them quickly, you'll see that I've got 16. You see this little beauty at the end as well, which goes page 12 of 95? What is that? Why do we do that? That only creates anxiety, if anything. You're like, oh my God, I can't take 83 more of those. But it can also create hope. Because imagine when it's 90 out of 95. Oh, I can see the light. I can see the end of the tunnel. Kidding aside, don't do that. Now, there are so many ideas out there on how many objects you're supposed to have in PowerPoint. And once and for all, I just want to put my foot down and state to you that this is the perfect amount. And in order to do that, I want you to feel it yourself. How many objects are you supposed to have? And we're going to do that by showing you a couple of balls. I'll throw up the balls. I want you to nod to me when you've counted them. Simple instruction. You with me? Cool. Here we go. Cool. All right. It takes you about 2 seconds. Good. Well done. And the next set of balls, count them and nod to me when you've counted them. Here we go. Excellent. Yeah. It took you about 1.2 seconds if you're normal, which about 90% of you seem to be. We'll have the third set of balls, the last one. Look at this. Nod to me when you've counted them. Oh, what was that? I just pressed the button and you nodded simultaneously. That will, if you are normal, take you 0.2 seconds. 2/10 of a second. This will take you 1.2. This will take you 2/10 of a second. And for any one of you who you're good at maths, you'll find out that that number is approximately 500% difference. How is that even remotely possible? There are only 2 objects in difference. Well, might I suggest the following? This one you have to count, and this one you see. Would that be correct? Mm. So what you've just experienced is the following, that the cognitive process of counting takes 500% longer time, requires 500% more energy resources to execute than just seeing. So what I want you to keep in mind at all times, what I want you to keep in your head is this, which is the Swedish number for this. The magical number is 6. It's not 5, it's not 7, it's...
So how many objects, not words, how many objects should we have on the screen when we are presenting something? Because as he said, that he is the person who is presenting, he is the focus, and those are visual aids. What we do in a PowerPoint presentation is we make the visual aids important and us secondary. But I am presenting the ideas. It is me who is going to move forward with everything, and still I make your focus go to the board. So 6 objects on the screen is the most important thing. Is not only the most important thing, is the allowable thing. So I hope you could understand a little bit better about what we are trying to do here, and you will, I mean, do your assignment and your quiz following all these instructions and submit it on time. Okay, so bye for now. I'll be sending you the recording. Get back to me with all the queries that you have. Bye.